gentlemen, welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin. This is my adorable co-host Teddy, and today we're doing probably the craziest, most high-end GPU showdown that I have ever done on this channel. It's going to be the Gigabyte Xtreme Gaming GTX980 Ti, and that's going to be going up against the Asus 20th anniversary Gold Edition GTX980 Ti. So both these cards are really high end, coming with heaps of features and a really high price tag. So this should be quite interesting. So let's jump right in then with the GPUs. So they're both featuring the 28nm Maxwell GM200-310 GPU. Same one as you'll find in the Titan X, however these ones are a little bit nerfed, coming in at with 2,816 CUDA cores, as opposed to the Titan X, which has 3,072 CUDA cores. Now, these cards both feature GPU Boost 2.0, which means that the GPU will automatically overclock if temperatures allow. So the highest automatic overclock that I saw out of the Gigabyte Xtreme Gaming was 1,430 megahertz. Now that is absolutely crazy for a 980 Ti and for an automatic overclock. That is really high straight out of the box. However, it was outdone by the Asus card. So the Gold Edition out of the box went up to 1,480 megahertz. Now that is just crazy. Nearly 1,500 megahertz of an automatic overclock straight out of the box. So that is absolutely hauling and really quite crazy. Now, if we go around to memory, both these cards are coming with 6 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory on a 384-bit memory bus. However, the Gigabyte card is at the standard 7,010 megahertz memory speed, whereas the Gold Edition here has been bumped up a little to 7,200 megahertz, which will just make a little bit of a difference there. Both these cards obviously coming with the same TDP at 250 watts, kind of high, but not too bad. And NVIDIA recommends a 600 watt power supply minimum, although you could probably get away with a little bit less depending on what other stuff you have in your rig. Now let's talk about the coolers then. So we'll start off with this Asus. Go watch my unboxing and overviews if you want a full description of the coolers and all their features and that. If I did in this video, it would just go on forever. But yeah, it's a really beefy cooler, really thick, massive heat sinks. You see that 10mm heat pipe coming out the top there. This thing is an absolute beast. Spray painted this nice matte black. It looks absolutely sexy. I really like this card. It's coming with awesome features. The side lights up as well at 20th anniversary, different colors depending on what the load is. So that looks really cool. Has a nice sexy backplate as well. And overall, I just think this is probably one of the best looking graphics cards I have ever tested. It's really good looking. It looks absolutely amazing in your rig. So it's a very sexy graphics card, and this is a very big cooler that it features with lots of heat pipes. The Gigabyte Xtreme Gaming is also quite crazy. So you might think by the pictures that it's just sort of similar to the G1 Gaming or the Windforce. I can assure you it is very different. This is like the XL edition. It is much bigger than the standard Windforce or G1 Gaming GTX980 Ti's. It's also featuring lighting, this time around the fans, and also the Windforce logo on the side there lights up. There's a nice backplate on it too. Big heat sinks, big heat pipes, direct copper touching the GPU. Both these cards have beefed up components as well, which is going to mean that they'll be more reliable and also will allow you for a better overclock. So that's really good too. They're also both coming with the 0 decibel fan technology, which means the fans will be turned off when you're not doing much, casual stuff, maybe a low requirement game. The fans won't even turn on, and they'll just turn on when the temperatures get up high enough, which means you get silent gaming and silent, casual use. Now that that's all out of the way, let's jump into the benchmark. So I did 1080p, 1440p, and 4K, and included all my new benchmarks. So let's jump in and see which one of these cards comes out on top. that's the benchmark. So that was just at their stock, GPU boost 2.0 clocks. Sorry guys, I'm not going to be doing overclocking in this video because these cards are borrowed. So it'd be kind of like if you borrowed your friend's car and then absolutely thrashed it and revved it to the max and stuff like that and gave it back. It wouldn't be a very nice thing to do. So let's just be happy that I get to do this showdown in the first place and get those results that I did. So quite interesting there. Obviously these are the same GPU and they are very similar in clock speed. So the Asus just barely edges out the Gigabyte, which is pretty much what we were going to be expecting. This benchmark doesn't tell you that much about the differences between these cards because it is so minute. However, that will give you an idea of the gaming performance you will be getting out of these guys, especially some of the 4K ones there you see in Shadow of Mordor, almost getting up to the 60 frames per second average at 4K, absolutely maxed out. So that is quite incredible, and these cards are extremely powerful. But nevertheless, we got to give it to the Asus. However close it was, it's still won, so we got to give the benchmarks to the Asus graphics card. However, let's get into stuff that's more important, like the temperatures. So which one of these cards ran hotter? So for this, I did my Unigine Valley benchmark on the Extreme HD preset. I took the highest temperature I saw and also the highest fan speed. So during the benchmark, the Gigabyte Xtreme Gaming went up to 68 degrees Celsius, and that was at 47% fan speed. And the Asus 20th anniversary went up to 69 degrees Celsius, and that was at 54% fan speed. So the Asus losing out this time, although that was very close, only 1 degree in it, which could be attributed to a margin of error, although I don't run these tests just once, I do it multiple times. But yeah, it's more the fan speed. That's the main teller for me. So at 47% fan speed compared to 54%, and getting a lower temperature at a lower fan speed. So this one, I got to give it to the Gigabyte. It does do slightly better in temps, and if you brought it up to the same fan speed as the Asus, you'd probably see maybe another 1 or 2 degrees knocked off there too. Kind of what I was expecting given the coolers on these cards, and the Gigabyte coolers generally do better than the Asus ones. However, temperatures aren't everything. What about the noise? You don't want a hairdryer in your rig because that's going to annoy you. So how did they do in terms of noise? So again, this was during the same benchmark. I took the sound at the same part of the benchmark, so it's completely fair, and I'll play that for you now so you guys can hear what they sound like. So let's do the Gigabyte first. So this is what the Gigabyte card sounds like during the Unigine Valley benchmark. And here is the Asus 20th anniversary card in the exact same benchmark. So what can we tell from that then? Well, both of these cards are completely silent when you're not gaming. The fans are turned off, there's no worries at all in terms of noise. However, when you are gaming, I would have to give it to this Gigabyte card. It's just a little bit more quiet than the Asus card. It is very close though, but I would still give it to the Gigabyte card. It's just running at a bit lower fan speed, so it's just a bit quieter when you are gaming. Which brings us now to the conclusion, and what do I recommend to you guys out there that may be considering one of these cards or deciding out of these two? Well, we have to bring price into the equation, and there is a significant price difference. However, if we take price aside, so say, you don't care about money. I know a lot of people who watch this are probably in IT and earning a lot of money, like $150 an hour or something like that. So for you guys out there that are earning loads of cash and you don't care about money or anything like that, the Asus card is very special. This is an absolutely magnificently good looking card. I really like it. It's very special, it's very unique, and if you just have a lot of money and you want to buy a very unique graphics card that's going to wow people whenever they see it, then yeah, I would still recommend this graphics card. It's really going to stand out, and it is very, very sexy. However, if you are a person who cares about money and you want the one that's, better value for money, then I just have to give it to the Gigabyte card. It's coming in at something like $500 New Zealand cheaper than the Asus card. Now that may vary where you live, but I would, having a look around, it seems like this Gigabyte Xtreme Gaming is cheaper than the Asus 20th anniversary wherever you look. So in terms of value for money, I would definitely go for the Gigabyte. It has just as nice features as the Asus graphics card. The performance is pretty much exactly the same. It does better in terms of temps, it does better in terms of noise, and it's just an extremely good graphics card, and it's not worth paying the extra money for the Asus card over this one if you're someone that's concerned with that. However, if the price difference, say, dropped down to maybe $100 more for the Asus card, then maybe look into it, just because it is so sexy and it is quite unique. However, if it's, you know, say even $150 or more price difference, then just go with this Gigabyte card. It's going to do you very well, and this is, you know, one of the best graphics cards I have ever run. It is absolutely amazing, and I really do like it. Now, I thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe to Tech Showdown if you haven't already, and like the video. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.